quality. So I'm going to give you guys some tips on what to look out for and what is quality strength and conditioning coaching. What is a quality program? I can probably name a handful of my colleagues who are actually doing it right. A lot of people who have been on this podcast, but not every strength coach is doing it the right way. And oftentimes I've been finding a lot of these strength programs are more about becoming Instagram famous and not doing what's right for young athletes, not truly developing them and coaching them and teaching them technique. It's more about becoming famous on Instagram, posting kids doing crazy, wild exercises that they're not ready for. And as a result, our young girls are suffering and they're not staying fully healthy. And we're not building resilient athletes. We're building Instagram celebrities at this point, which is what we shouldn't be doing as strength coaches. So if you're a strength coach listening to this presentation too, it might challenge you. So grab a notebook, grab a snack, get a drink. Let's do this. ACL injury prevention, a program that must be coached, not just a few exercises. What do I mean by this? Well, here is what ACL injury prevention is not. It's not just a few exercises. So oftentimes on social media or even in articles online, you'll see top 3 exercises to do for ACL injury prevention. And they'll give a bunch of balance drills or maybe hip bridge variations or mini band walks. Do this for 3 sets of 10. Guys, that's not going to move the needle. That doesn't truly get our young girls resilient to the forces that cause an ACL rupture. It's not just a few exercises. ACL injury prevention is also not a dinky warm-up. There's a lot of warm-ups out there that they have girls teams doing for 10 to 15 minutes where it's also a bunch of balance and jumping and landing drills. But again, it's not moving the needle because one, athletes aren't doing these drills correctly. I've seen a lot of these videos posted and girls are wobbling. They're not having crisp landings on these jumping drills. And the coach is kind of ignoring the warm-up too. They're just letting the girls go through the motions and the coach is on the sideline on his phone. So a dinky warm-up is not going to help, especially because it's not coached, but it's also not progressed. Girls are doing the same movements over and over again for the full year. Eventually, they do have to progress because muscles get bored. Tendons and ligaments get bored. They eventually need new challenges to become durable. Okay, that moves me to number 3. ACL injury prevention is not lifting the same weight all the time. So oftentimes I'll see videos of girls doing a 20-pound goblet squat for several weeks and she hasn't progressed. Or a girls soccer team is working with their club strength coach and there's only 10 to 20 pound dumbbells available and there's no progression in that load to truly build strength and to eventually challenge the muscles as these girls go through the program or they continue to go through adolescence and get older. When girls get older, they naturally build and get a little bit stronger so we can continue to progress our older teenage girls. They should not be lifting 10-pound dumbbells throughout their entire adolescence. This next one really irks me, and this is going to challenge a lot of the coaches and strength professionals listening today. A lot of plyometrics and deceleration drills are poorly coached. So I will go over this and I'll go over what to look for in these deceleration and plyometric drills. And these are really important to really coach our female athletes on because ACL tears happen during a plant, during a deceleration movement. So if we're not teaching them the correct positions in a controlled gym setting, then what's going to happen when they enter into a chaotic setting on the field or on the court? So they have to be coached properly in a controlled setting so that when they do enter into a game setting, they're more likely to get into more optimal and efficient positions. And then this last one is ACL injury prevention is not progressing athletes too fast. So if I have a 13-year-old girl who is a novice to strength training and plyometric training, I am not going to have her do 20-inch box jumps right away if I haven't taught her how to land properly. Okay, so a lot of these coaches are progressing athletes way too fast into advanced drills that their bodies can't even handle. They don't even have stability on just flat ground. So, why are coaches progressing them to crazy depth jumps or box jumps? Oh, well, it's probably just to look cool on Instagram and to use young girls to go viral. It's not okay, guys, and I need to call it out. Okay, so here are some of these people, and I can't be quiet about this anymore because a lot of parents of girls I've spoken to, people who have DM'd me, girls who have tore their ACLs were progressed too fast. And a lot of parents are like, well, we were doing a strength program and she did everything right, but she still got hurt. But my question is, did she really do a quality strength program? Did she really do everything right? This is the problem, folks. So here are some red flags. This is all over social media, everyone. Not a lot of people are doing this properly. Speaking of advancing to plyo drills too fast that an athlete isn't ready for, this is about a 13 to 14-year-old girl who, from the video, she absolutely looked like a novice because she didn't have basic coordination. She didn't have stability of her trunk. And as you can see here, she was doing a broad jump for distance. And when she landed, she completely collapsed. What does a broad jump train? Okay, well, it does train acceleration and lower body power, but the landing of a broad jump should be training deceleration positions. And when an athlete is decelerating in a game to change direction, we don't want them to collapse like this because not only are they going to be a step behind and unable to turn efficiently into the direction they want to go because their trunk's so far forward. Also, the forward lean of the trunk like this is a lot of load on the ACL. So we're training a poor movement pattern here for both performance and health of the athlete. So don't do this. This is a red flag, guys. Box jumps as well. Same thing with this kid here. This kid was about 12, maybe 11 years old, doing a 20-inch box jump he wasn't ready for. But hey, it looked cool on Instagram with the Drake rap music playing in the background. So again, landing on the toes, and we'll go over proper landings for these deceleration plyometric drills. Landing on the toes, falling forward, collapsing of the knees, training that trunk to sway forward, which is what we don't want for deceleration and cutting movements and change of direction. We want the trunk to be in a more neutral and upright position so the athlete can move fast in any direction. If it's too far forward, again, if they have to turn back and go the other way, they are way behind. So, in a controlled gym setting, we have to train these movements and positions properly. The more likely an athlete can go into that spontaneous game setting and execute these well. Okay, this next one, a lot of you strength coaches listening are not going to be happy about. This is wrong. Now, I couldn't grab the video on this one, but again, a too far forward trunk lean on a heavy squat that this girl also was not ready for. Yes, showing your athletes squatting heavy is an ego boost as a strength coach, and posting it on Instagram and getting the likes, that's a huge ego boost, right? But are you truly developing this athlete and keeping her healthy? A lot of stress on the low back here with this heavy of a squat and this far forward of a trunk lean. And what also happened in this video was since she was too far forward, she didn't activate her quads and really get the most out of the exercise. She ended up dipping up in the squat using her hips and low back. Again, a lot of stress on the spine and not enough working of the quads, which is what we want to do with a squatting movement. Okay. And then this one, I hear a lot. I get a lot of complaints from parents of coaches having girls do broad jumps, hurdle jumps, box jumps, and the knees collapse. That knee valgus is not good. And even parents notice it. They're like, yeah, we were watching our coach run practice and they were doing full field broad jumps and knees were caving in and it didn't look right. If you get a bad feeling about it, it's probably not right. We do not want this. We do not want knees collapsing on these controlled movements. knee valgus is a risk factor for ACL tears, and it is something that is modifiable with proper training and proper coaching. So these are red flags to look out for. I know it's all over social media. You see more of these videos than actual videos of athletes actually being coached. It's sad. Okay, so what do quality ACL prevention programs actually do? Well, they do these things. Okay, these are the top 5. And I'm just talking about the strength and conditioning side of things. Of course, there's other things that go into injury prevention, like proper nutrition, recovery, and load management. I talk about all that in my Female Athlete High Performance book. Those are important as well. But the lowest hanging fruit is you need to have your daughter do a quality strength and conditioning program. So, what does a quality program do? Number 1, it addresses the neuromuscular imbalances that are risk factors for ACL injuries. These are trunk dominance. So, again, that forward swaying of the trunk or even lateral swaying of the trunk during deceleration and landing movements. Okay, that causes the knees to collapse and that causes that knee valgus. So, that means more force on the ACL to twist and rupture. Number 2, quality ACL prevention programs do these. They build strength relative to body weight. So coming back to girls not lifting the same weights all year and actually progressing and lifting heavy over a long period of time, they must gain strength relative to body weight on the main lifts. So your squats, your hex bar deadlifts, split squats, single leg squats, they have to be eventually lifting some heavy weight to truly build strength. Quality ACL prevention programs also, number 3, progress and coach deceleration properly. So if it looks like a cool exercise on Instagram, but you're kind of seeing some wacky landings, then it's not being coached properly. And the exercise selection is not appropriate for that athlete at that point in time. Okay, number 4, quality ACL prevention programs progress and coach plyometrics properly. And then number 5, they repeat the importance of year-round training. This is one a lot of people royally mess up. In order to progress in strength and progress to more advanced plyometrics, girls have to be doing year-round training. Otherwise, us strength coaches have no opportunity to actually develop these athletes and to really work on building these qualities for them to become resilient.